Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's what is it? It's 9:32, 9:32 p.m. in Tokyo. So they're having their adult beverages. The markets are closed as far as they're concerned. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Let's get this rolling along. Let's grab the white mouse. There we go. And give it a recycle, and there we go. And in 3 seconds, I'll be able to see the chat line. There we go. I see the chat line. It must be evening everywhere. No conversation, no like, oh, Doc, what about this, that, and the other thing? So we will start off with the dollar index, since no one seems to want to look at anything particular. And as you can see right there, there's the dollar index, just weeks upon weeks sliding down. And over here on Chicago Quant, we have the same situation when we find it. Let's see, there is there, and then there is right there. Let's go to the dollar index. There's the dollar index. This is the CME dollar index. You can see it's trying to lift up a little bit on a daily today, but overall the weekly shows you it's been in a weekly trend for weeks upon weeks, months upon months now. Let's put up the daily there. And there we go. And we'll probably start to see some green develop very soon. We're starting to see it right here. So we're just a couple hours away, seeing if it's going to start. Matter of fact, you can see here it went into a buy, and then it kind of, let's just give this a refresh to make sure it's working correct. Let's do that. Let's see where we go here. Go like that and that. And then we go over to there. Go down to there. Give it a refresh. Just 3 days. There we are. Yeah, so it went into a buy, went into a sell. Let's put those in. Let's grab them from over here. We don't need it there at this point. Goes into a sell there. Goes into a buy there, and now it's going back into a buy again right here. And we can put, what we'll do is we'll put one up top like so, right there, trying to get into the buy, which is interesting. I just think it's just dead cat bounces, basically, meaning that the energy coming from it is not necessarily like an overabundance of buyers or sellers. That's what the dead cat bounce really defines. That's what the meaning is itself. It just means that you take an object, you throw it out a window, it hits the ground, it bounces not because it's alive, but because just the impact wave itself and the bounce from it. And so that's probably just profit taking going on at the moment. We only see, at this point, we really only see a dollar that's going to go sideways down over the next 6 months to a year or something like that. And you can see that the different pairs trades try to turn it up. They try to get into the rhythm, I guess you could say. And that's pretty much the whole gist of it all in the end. In other words, that's the way to look at it. So from there, we'll go over to the euro if there's no questions about the dollar index. Right there. And let's see. Let me just put my sound up too in case it's moving. Oh, it is. Let me kill that. I was wondering if that would make the wind sound. Sorry about that. Now why? Okay, there it goes. It's gone. And so let's go over to the euro and see what the euro is up to. I'm glad I pushed the sound on you. You'll be listening to winds. That's a sound of the solar wind. That's the stuff that Nikola Tesla used to like to listen to. He was always into that. There we go. And there's the euro. You see there, euro is on a daily, and it's pressing down for the last couple of days. I think they're flirting. I think we're in a daily buy at this point. We've slipped into the daily buy. Let's put it up over here. Let's move that there like that. Right there. Not right there. Right there. There we go. And you can see this is going into the second day now of a daily buy. I'll find that mouse in a second. There it is. There we go. And second day in a buy. It's a little unchanged for the day, just kind of sideways. This slow dip here with the hinkies. And when we stop the hinkies for a second there, you'll probably see the same thing I'm seeing. There it is. You can see it's actually a little bit higher from yesterday's close. And it's been down for 2 days there, and this is this is trying to turn back up. There we go. And we use those hinkies just to reflect like our dots do. You know, that's all. It has that nature to it. It's just a couple hours slower than our dots. All right, and then the weekly again. You know, it's been in a long weekly buy for months upon months, and doesn't look like it wants to break down whatsoever. And we'll take a look at it here. And it'll be a sea of green. Green, 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 green. Come on. It's ticking away. There it is. A sea of green. Had a little digestion here. But overall, it's been, just a slog up. Pushing to go up, 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 up. You can see it's taken out highs of, what's that, back in 2001. It's going after the, in here it's taking out these highs here and there and there, and it's lifting and starting to climb even higher up. I guess the next real plateau area will be that, what is that? That is what is that? There is 108, right? Oh, no, wait a minute. Yeah, no, that's the wrong thing. Where is Mr. Euro? There it is. That's better. Now it makes more sense. There we go. And there's the push up. And let's see. I'd imagine it'll stall out in this 112-ish area. Maybe play with these bottoms. And, play in this channel right there. Maybe, 111 and change, that type of thing. I imagine they'll find a way to get up there. And then I'd imagine like that, the real stall out will be in the between 114 and 116, I would imagine, right around in here, right in that area there. And that's what I think they'll do over the next year, just slowly march their way up. As long as we keep on staying in lots of weekly buys, more weekly buys than sells, more than likely we will. And you can see here it's been in a weekly buy for a while now. There's 3, and then there's 6, and then there's 9, and then there is 12, and now this is the 13th week. We'll be going into week 14 next week. All right. And let's go just look at the daily again, since we had the wrong product up there. And there we are. That makes more sense now. The green and a green. And matching up with our green and a green right there. Excelente. All right. From there, we dance our way over to the cable. And the cable seems to be making up some ground, which is nice. It's good to see the cable start to perk up. You see there, this is the daily. And it's been in a daily buy for plenty of weeks, that's for sure. I think it's like 15 weeks or something like that. Not 15 weeks, 15 days, something like that. Let's put it up over here. There we are. You see it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. the 11th week in a daily buy. You can see it's having no problem. The fast algorithm basically went into a weekly buy last week, and the slow one is joining in this week. So you can see that there is that buying going on, and it's kind of a positive thing. And I think when we go to the weekly, you can see here we're now at least starting to get to there now, whereas the euro has passed that point in the same time period. So let's put the weekly in there. Right there. And you see that same action going on. What else do we say about the cable? Just glad to see it catching up. And this pattern does look like that reverse head and shoulders, and there's the head right there. When it got down to like 102, 103. And let's see. What else can we say about that? We have it in the weekly there, right? Yeah, that's in the weekly bar. So you can see that reverse head and shoulders pattern developing. And I imagine it'll be very supportive. All right, we'll go over to the Swiss franc now and see what they're doing with Swiss today. And there's Swiss. You can see it's staying in that weekly sell. It tried to curve up there, and then it stopped. You can see the fast-moving algorithm here went into the weekly sell a week earlier, and at the same time, it's still holding off. So it's not there's not a lot of buying going on in there. As we take a sip of the tea there. All right, and let's take a look at the daily on this. Right there we are. Marching down for 3, 4, 5, 6 days. You can see the green line has been down underneath. 1, 2, 3, 4 days, and it's trying to perk up. And you can see the same thing over here on Chicago Quant. Let's widen that a little bit. Where's the widener? Right there. And move that line back where it belongs, at the 0 line right there. And you see that weekly has been close at times trying to get in. That's the fast moving algorithm of ours, which acts just these two here, the slow and fast stochastic, emulate that just with a couple of hours lag, and I think it's a correlation around 68 or 69%. So pretty good public indicator right here, what we like to call the Manhattan. Hey Robin, be right back. Didn't know you were here. Be right back. Okay. And see, on the daily you can see they're trying to perk it up here. It's playing, actually it's at the moment it is above the 0 line. And you can see here the green line has pierced also through right there, but the hinky hasn't changed yet. But then again, we have a red and a green going on right there also. So it's just in that formative stage of, on a daily, trying to turn up. And we will take a look at that weekly right there. And it's just a sea of red right at the top. I love that. Now what is going on with that we're not seeing all of it? Maybe we have to move it up or down. Let's see what we can do here. Maybe there's a line we can move. Oh, let's see if we go a whole page and see what it does. It's like we've lost it somehow. Ah, there we go. Wow, what is that? What happened to it? Why is that died right there? I don't understand. Let's go to the daily and see if it's doing that. What's this poor product doing? That it's killed one of the lines. That's interesting. Dilly. See, daily works, right? I don't know why the weekly doesn't. Huh. Must be a bad tick in there freaking it out. All right, then. From there, we go over to the yen. Let's see what the yen is up to. And there's the yen. You see the yen went into the daily buy. Let's grab just one of these instead. So yen went into a daily buy there, and is in the third day of the daily buy as we speak right there. And the weekly, also in a weekly sell for a while now, since early November, and it has not challenged the zero line whatsoever. Now it did get, what's interesting is you can see the green line passed through the time manifold here, but a couple times and then failed. And then the fast algorithm did not. It did not. So interesting. Let's go to J4X and put up the same thing to look at it. Right there, there's the yen, and there's the daily, and you can see this in and out thing going on. You see the green line is trying to pierce up. It's at the low end of its range. And then when we go and look at the, where's it at, right there? We go look at the weekly action in it, like so. You see same situation, lots of red, like we have here, lots of red. In this case here, underneath the zero line. And at the same time, you see the green drops underneath the slow-moving stochastic, and then hits it, tries to lift up, and then fails. And then when we look at our work, this is our two algorithms, and we use stochastics on every one of our algorithms. That's what some of the lines are. Is we use the stochastic to smooth it out, and so that's why it emulates it. And just our algorithm itself, our little formula, tweaks it to a point where it can be accelerated by hours ahead of everything else. All right, and then from there, so that's the yen and the Swiss, and for a while they were really breaking away, and we mentioned this a lot of times. How much influence the Credit Suisse situation must have had an effect on both countries or currencies. All right, and then from there we go over to what I always like to call the laboratory or experiment. We watched this experiment, the Turkish lira. We look at the Euro-Turkish lira because it's been, it's an industrial nation. It borders Europe. It's part of NATO. It's not some backwater little operation there. It's Turkey. It's a major country, and to watch their currency go from 1 to 20 is pretty tenacious. No one's currency does anything like that besides Zimbabwe or something like that. So with the old Rhodesia under Robert Mugabe, who's taught us how not to do economics. Whatever he does in economics, you would do the opposite, and your country would do fine. And so there is the Turkish lira here. Let's put it up over here. Where is it at? Turkish lira. Right. There it is. Turkish lira. Now this is the weekly. You can see it's been in a long trend on the upside. Same thing here. Matter of fact, I think we got to scrunch this thing up to be able to see how they both went into the buys in October. See that right there in the Octobers. You can see the green line pierced. It fluctuated in and out, and then joined in the big trend. Same thing here. You had these volatility days. You can see these really extreme volatility days. And then, it smoothed itself out in the euro. It has not in the dollar. It still has some vicious volatility days. And let's move that line down more, right to the zero line itself. There's the zero line. And you can see our fast-moving algorithm joined in a couple weeks before it, the slow moving one did, and that's the little bluish dotted line. That's why it's not very strong. I don't make it very loud. I've been learning from it the last year and a half to 2 years, and we finally got a handle on it over the last couple of months, and we may be incorporating that into our rules over the next 3 to 6 months, which will make it only even better for traders to make even more money. All right, and let's take a look at it on a daily basis right there. And as you can see, it's a bunch of days up, just like, what's that? That was January 6th. It went into a buy and then fell into a sell on January 17th. And so there is January, what is that? The date is there somewhere. Why am I not seeing it? There we are. January 9th. Okay, excellent. And there's the 11th, 12th, and 13th. Is that what that is? There's the 13th. Right there? Yeah, so we went into a buy like 3 days later, I guess. Let's see, what did we do here? So we went into a buy, went into a sell. Oop, 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 oop. And I guess if we take the hinkies off, let's see what it looks like in pure. El Natural. There we are. So as it went into the buy here, it kept on falling down for like 3 days. But the hinkies were warning you that the true trend is the upside. And it joined in. And you can see it went into a correction there for a couple of days. And you see the same thing here. And we are just now today, let's make ours wider too. Let's go ahead and widen that out. No, not the dots. The bars. There we are. And then we bring it down so you can see those bars better. Like so. There we are. And you can see it's trying to get into the buy today. And then let's widen this, the actual algorithm, so you can see it clearer and better. And let's move it down. There we go. That's better. You can see 2 days in a sell there. Then what is that? Minus 3 days in a sell, and you can see a red and a green, and then it's trying today to get into the buy. That's what's happening there. Let's just double check time frames there. There you go. It's the 20th. There's the 19th. Okay. So you can see that pressure. Again, the thing seems to have built a base on the 20 area. Wow. I mean, this is a currency. Oh, there we go. There, he's back. And there's Metho. Nat Gaz, please. Let's check it out. Good. I've been just rambling about these currencies. I can't wait to do anything and everything. I mean, I have no problem going through each one of these currencies, but boy, and I don't have anything to complain about this morning in particular. I mean, Davos may be the only thing to really complain about. It's like they're like a bunch of children at this point. It's not like the old Davos that I know, where it was about markets and money and funds and getting financing for your fund and things like that. Now it's just a bunch of people whining about, I don't know, green lives matter, something like that. I don't know, Earth matters, green planet, something like that. All right, let's get Nat Gaz up on the screen. And there she is. There she blows. March Nat Gaz. You see, bouncing around on. Did they break the 3? I don't think they did they? They didn't break the 3 there. It got down to 3.035. Just like, a few ticks away from capitulation. Let's see, Nat Gaz. And there it is on J4X. You see there. The hinky probably did it. The hinky's probably underneath. Let's make it bigger. Did the hinky drop underneath? No, it still hasn't done it. Oh, what's that? That's a daily. So the low there is 31099, and very close, hanging underneath. Long ride down. The product went up over 1,000%, and now it's only up like a little under 170%. What a correction, huh? And it doesn't seem to be changing any. They say, I saved some different stories that I read about it, that the European Union overall says they have half their natural gas inventory still in supply, stored away. So they're doing pretty well for the winter. As far as they're concerned, they have more than half of their winter supply still sitting there. And here we are heading towards February. So that's pretty positive, because it's only going to get warmer and warmer now. So there's nat gas. And you can see we're way down here. Our fast-moving algorithm jumped across, showing that strength there, and then broke down again. And you can see, the capitulation. Just fell apart. Just kept on falling. All right. I hope that answered your question there, Metho. And I agree with you. It is an interesting situation. Here in the States, we're paying we're paying under $3, a little over $3. And Europe is paying something like 20 some odd dollars.
Market
what a
data
fantastic arbitrage. All right. Now, from there,
market data connection reestablished.
See, where were we at? Oh, we were looking at poor Turkish lira, but we'll just leave it at that. And we will go over and look at the Mexican peso and finish off the currencies. And then if anybody wants to see currencies, waiting for a bounce. Yeah, you and a lot of other people. As I said to Robin, remember, the product is 170% off of its 3-year low. And overall, that's like a 15-year low. And it's 170% over it right now. So this product could be, think about that. It's 170% over its 3-year low. That's a big number. The fact that it went up 1,000%, tells you that the move on the upside was a distortion, a physical distortion. Because here it is now only 100. It's down dramatically, 830%. It's down. So, but when traders look at a product and they take a look at the lows and the highs, and you look at it and you go, wow, it's 170% off its 3-year low, you got to wonder when that's going to correct, right? That's what that says. In other words, 170% is a big number for a 3-year move. So, it could go down to 50% over its low. In other words, it could drop. And I agree with you. I think it was yesterday you said, you expect to see it in the twos. I'm thinking we're going to see the twos also. I could see 2.5, 2.6. Then I think the bounce will start to develop from there, possibly. Waiting for a bounce. Yes, recession prices could be 1.5, but now a bounce, please. Please? No, don't do that to yourself. Follow the math. The math will keep you honest and safe. And don't no coulda, shoulda, wouldas. What did they say? We used to say, there was a saying we used to say on the trading floor about something about being close. Oh yes, the only thing that counts being close is horseshoes and hand grenades. That's it. Why? Why take the risk? Unless you're a producer, or not a producer, but you're an end user. If you're an end user and you're buying it in future contracts, then yeah, average into it. But if you're doing it for trading, you're like I said, this product went up 1,000%, and from its lows of just 3 years ago, and it's 170 some odd percent up still. You have to think that there's more room on the downside than the upside. You can go to zero. Well, we hope you don't have to go to zero. I say you're probably going to see a decent bounce in the 2.5 area, 2.6 area. That's where I think you might see a bounce. And that will still keep it up over 100% from its, the all-time low is 1.38. So if it gets down to 2.5, that makes it like 65-70% up. And that's where I'm thinking it's probably going to find its base, somewhere around in that area. You should have bought. Yes. Yeah, we were screaming that here that day it was happening. Matter of fact, the whole webinar turned into, it did it. You know what's funny? It did it. The oil going to zero did it during our webinar. And I had come into the webinar saying to people, because oil at the time was trading at $15 or something like that a barrel, $12 a barrel. And I said, by the way it's trading right now, we'll probably see this product go minus. And it did during our webinar. Yeah, that was wild. And we were saying, because we were hearing all kinds of news over a couple of days that, people were concerned that it could go to zero. And I said it's going to go minus. It's not going to go zero. It'll go minus. Because if you have that much pressure in any product, okay, and people think that it can go to zero and they're serious about it, then you have to believe that they will pay people to take their product. So that's how I figured it would go minus. I didn't expect it to go minus 39, but that was pretty cool. It went minus 39. $39. We saw contracts trade, and that was during our webinar live. Matter of fact, we had a intraday tick chart going at the same time. We had put one up where you could see it, trading in the I think it was trading a full Tesla, 396 Tesla. It was funny because it went minus, and it was like, minus 5, and then minus 9, and it was like minus 20. It was like people were paying tens of thousands of dollars for people to take delivery so that they didn't have to take delivery. Alrighty. From there, where do we go from there? Oh, Mexican peso. Let's finish off the currency with the Mexican peso. And there it is right there. Oh, you know what we didn't do? We didn't do Canadian and South African Rand. So let's use this as a way of moving into the energy sector even more. Let's go to the Canadian. There's the CAD. The CAD has been lifting up for a couple days here, as you can see. Okay. So you see there, it's been sliding up. We're in a daily buy for 5 days now. And the weekly's not really having much of an effect. Not even the little dotted one, I think we should make that like a dash. Because it's becoming something I'm really paying attention to now. So you can see here, and it's probably a little bit easier for you to see. You can see it's lifting up through the manifold at the moment, but it's still in a minus. It's been in a minus back in here. And then the slow-moving algorithm didn't break down until here, whereas the fast-moving algorithm broke down right there, back in there, picking up all this weakness coming in. What's interesting is when it finally did break down overall with this volatility days in the Canadian, you can see we were challenging the time manifold itself right there. That was kind of interesting. All right, now let's take a look at oil. We're going to get rid of that contract. Oop, where's it at? Right there. We're going to move into the March oil contract starting tomorrow, or Monday. This is the February contract. You see here, it's trying to play with a buy. It's dancing along. You can see it's still in the weekly. It's holding up. And then, usually it parallels. As this is trying to go down, usually Canadian goes up. and that's what we're seeing on the Canadian dollar against the U.S. dollar. It's been trying to go up for a couple of days. Well, it's backing off a little bit. It's trying to go down in this point, sideways at the moment. Now let's use this to take a look at the back contract, the May contract. Let's see, where's it at? Right there. There's the May contract. And over on J4X, let's slide in Brent. There's Brent at the same time, and that is the daily. You know, it's been lifting. It's trading at 86 and change. And you can see same thing going on in the back months. The contango, it's trading at 81.49. And let's see what kind of premium. The best we've seen so far is like, what, 70 or 68? I think we saw a 68 premium. Let's take a look at the Feb contract that expires basically this weekend. And there it is again, trading at 80.88, and the May contract is trading at 81.47. That's 59, basically 60 cents above the back months. Okay, over a 3-month period. Okay, so that's like the energy conversation we're having at the moment. Ooh, what do we got here? A ding, 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 ding. There we are. What is that?
So, this is what you do with new socks with your puppy. This is why you buy them. Here,
Oh my God. There we are. Some people. All right, so we have here, that's the Brent. You can see it's Brent trying to do its thing, you know, lifting up here too at the same time, just as the West Texas Intermediate. And Canadians kind of going sideways. Now let's take a look at gold. We'll take a look at the gold market and see. Let's put it up over here. Right there. Wow. Isn't that something? Gold trading at 1928 in a spot. So the futures contract could be even higher. Let's see where gold is today. And there it is right there. Pretty much unchanged. It's trading at 1929, just a dollar over. So that's a February contract, so it's coming towards the end of its contract too at the same time. You can see here the weekly's been in a weekly buy for a long time. You know, just been pressing on the upside there. This does not have a fast. I guess we should have a fast. What is this? This is what is this? This is, I guess we do have a 5 and a 7. So it would make the 5 the fast and the 7 the slow. We need to work on that. We used to have one of those that worked really well. I'm not sure where it got to. I have to find it. But you can see here the strength is definitely on that side right there. You know, it's been in that buy since late October, and you can see here on the, what is that? That's the that's December. Okay, so that's not the weekly. I am long gold and long volatility at Dukascopy. Oh, now that's an interesting thing. We can take a look at. You want to look at volatility? We can take a peek at that too. The weekly doesn't seem to be changing, but the daily did climb into a daily buy yesterday. I figure we get a couple of days of action on the upside there from it. It's hard to say. Nothing too serious. There's volatility on a daily basis. Let's see what it looks like on a weekly basis. And there's volatility. Still in the weekly sell window, problem. But it's towards the mid of the range, you know, not at the lows. There's the high of the range here. Let's check it out over here. are. And VIX closed in the daily buy yesterday. Let's grab this daily buy right there. Well, let's leave that there because that's the last time we've seen it. Well, no, there's a decent little bounce too. And then this bounce only lasted a day. That one lasted, what was that, like 4 days of sideways from there, or 3 days. A gap up and then a slam down. So, all right, let's just take this sell. And we'll just turn that into the buy. Right there, there it is. That's the buy. And it's holding up for a second day, going sideways. And weekly, even our fast algorithm can't get through the manifold right now. So I'm not too comfortable with. Let's see how it was. At least the last time. Let's show you this a little bit clearer too. The last time we had a decent bounce. The fast algorithm. Oh, first of all, we were in a weekly buy at the time too. We were in a weekly buy when it had that nice bounce. But after that, you can see here, that was a good one right there. And we were in a weekly sell. The fast moving algorithm tried to get up, but didn't do too good a job. So if you see some profits, take them quick. In other words, ladder them. You know, sell a slice with a nice profit in it already, then put a stop in so that even the profit pays for the stop, that type of thing. You know, do good money management. 25 or 26. Let's see. Waiting for 5 more points at the volatility. Well, let's see. Last time it went into there, it went from 22.17 all the way up to 25.84. That was the high right there. Is that 84? I think that is. Yeah, it was 84. So from 22.68, where it went into the buy, 22.68 to 25. So it was a 3-handle move. So if you're long from, in the 20s, figure at least try to take something up in the 23s, at least. You need bad earnings. Well, I'm sure there's plenty of bad earnings out there somewhere. I hear you. We'll see. I'm not too impressed by the weekly signal here. That weekly signal is not exactly screaming, "Hey, free money." I don't see that. No free money sign there yet. But it would be nice to see this thing try to turn up in here. If it closes, I would imagine because it's Friday, it'll close right around here, though. I would think that. Bad earnings in a lot of different things, I'd imagine. And I'm not, the Dow's backed off like 1,000 points, and I don't think it's even, let's see. Here is the Dow 30. It is flirting with a weekly sell at the moment. You can see that there. You can see it's dropped down from the 3,400 and change high, mid 3,400s down to the low 33s. So it's like a 1,300 point drop, 1,400 point drop. We're in a daily sell for 3 days. It's kind of stalling out here. We'll keep an eye on that, but I'm not the biggest bear around at the moment. I kind of think this is a plateau, as I've been saying. I believe this area here is a plateau, and it's going to find a base in it, and it's going to go up. That's what I think. And so, but if it closes in a weekly sell, believe me, I'll be the first not to be long. And I'm right there. I usually follow the math first before I worry about what I'm thinking. You have time. Excellent. Time is your friend in trading. I agree totally. Totally agree. Time is your friend. All right, now let's drop over to, where do we go from here? Where were we? Did we look at the South African Rand and gold? Let's just check that out. No, that's the CAD. So let's take a look at the South African Rand and gold, see if politics is still choking it today. It looks like it is. They almost took out yesterday's high. And yesterday they perked it up even more. And you can see the weekly, though, which is curious. is still in a weekly sell throughout all this mess, and you can see it went into a buy. It was in a weekly sell before the politics kicked in. Politicus. $500,000 in cash. Ever since then, it's been all screwy. It does not really represent the action in the metals market itself. Now let's go over to the metals market. Right there. And there's the... Oh yeah, we were looking at the gold. That's right. Yeah, 28 and change. And let's get the South African Rand up on there. Right there. So metals, now metals have a lot more good look to it. They really do. Even when given a chance, so you can take a look at silver here. Even silver, as much as it vacillates in and out, it looks pretty firm still. It tried to get into the sell this week on a week, from the selling off here on, what was that, Tuesday. But then it kind of bounced and has been showing life in it since. So that's pretty good. And you can see here the weekly doesn't want to let go. Looks very comfortable. We could interchange that because that's the gas line 5. So we could put gas line 5 with the super in there. I'll play with that over the weekend and see what the fast moving looks like in it. I'm sure it's choppier. It needs a much more smoothing out basis, but because 5 makes it happier, that's for sure. The odds mathematically, statistically of success is better with a 5. And I'm glad you do have time. Time is your friend. All right, and then let's take a look at peso. This is going to be interesting. And there it is right there. Wow, what a nice bounce the last couple of days. We've come down to some good lows we haven't seen since the Trump times. So it's a little bounce, but I don't know if it has, maybe just be profit taking. You can still see it's in a weekly sell. The fast is down and not thinking about anything but staying down. Right there like that. And the slow moving algorithm is you can see the fast algorithm never even bounced back into the buy, just stayed in that sell. The pressure is there. You see here it let it back in here, it went into the weekly sell. And so the buys would have been thinner and the sells would have been better, but we didn't have any daily sells. There's one. That's about it. Went right back into the buy right there and tried to lift, but the fast moving weekly did not care. And then the slow joined in. All right. Let's close that out. Unless someone wants to see more currency, we can always come back to it. And let's take a look at, I had something in my head I wanted to see. Oh yes, copper. Let's see what copper looks like. The essence of China. I mean, I understand at Davos they're talking about, they're starting to doubt. I understand that a lot of people are starting to doubt that China can power up the world economy. They're kind of capitulating a little teeny, very little, but they're saying, the U.S. economy needs to turn up more, and at the same time they're being quieter. The little rumors around are, conversations like, well, the Communist Congress, the Chinese Congress that just ended, the 5-year party. Communist Party Congress ended, and they didn't mention the fact that their last one said that they were looking for 5% GDP for over the 5-year Congress, and it was 3 something, and so they're not really talking about that. And now they're projecting 5 again, or 6 or something like that, and they're not confident that they're hoping to get back up to 7 again or something like that. but they're not talking about the fact that they didn't achieve it last time, which is putting some doubts into some people's minds there. Not a lot. I mean, they love socialism and command and control economies. So the people of Davos are not free marketeers anymore. They're they're more of command and control economies, like Soviet Union type stuff. So, all right, and then last but not least, we might as well look at platinum. Last I saw platinum on Wednesday, it was still plus. It was trying to battle its way into the buy. It was daily. It went into a daily buy, and now we're back into a daily sell for 2 days. But the weekly seems to be holding up pretty well. But the problem is, look at the fast. The fast, has. Let me put that. Go like that, and we'll go like that, and we're going to make this dark, like so. Put the background in as dark, so you can see it better. There we are. And as you can see there, the fast is, went into the fast buy here. Let's move that down. Oop, right that. And so it went into the buy here and stayed in that buy for this move all the way up into here. Then it failed, went into a sell here. Interesting. And then went back into a buy and then sell and then a buy, showing us this digestion thing. And then they gave it a pop. And now we've been in a daily sell from here. Let's put that daily sell in. We always feel that platinum leads the way. Gives us clarity of direction. When it comes to that weekly signal. And I'm a little disturbed to see how deep it went down this time. So this is the April contract in platinum. I hope this is not trying to tell us we're going to see weak gold and silver next week. Silver tried it twice and failed at it. So we would like to see on Monday, the fast start to try to curve back up again. And we'll be watching the slow green one if it starts to bend through the time manifold right here. That's what that is. The nonlinear time manifold. All right. What do we got going on from there? That finishes off the metals complex. Let's go to, let's see, we did natural gas and we did oil and Brent. I just want to see where that European, let's see, it's kind of like this. There we go. Let's see where the natural gas company down in Spain, what the numbers look like today. Let's see, there's dollar, there's euro, there's US gas, and then there is Spanish gas right there. We're figuring it's in the 25s or 26s, probably 25s. Nope. 2601 bid for, 6 offered. I figured it's just right on the edge. Right on the edge. I thought it was going to be 2590 something or 80 something. So we really like to see how that turns. The fact that it stays strong is interesting. And I guess it's because we have some political instability going on between the Russians and the Ukraine still. Big meetings today, I understand that. And I keep on hearing some interesting stuff from there. All right. That pretty much takes care of our energies and takes care of our precious metals. Let's take a look at the stock indices. Let's go over, slide over to the S&P 500. We'll throw it up on J4X here. S&P 500. S&P 500, S&P 500. Right there. There's the S&P 500. And trading at 08, 09. Some of the lows of the day. Let's take a look at it on a daily basis and an intraday basis. There is that. And then here is the daily. Trading at, the futures contract is trading at, that must be trading the, what is this? This must be the index. 39.08, and the futures contract is trading at 39.25 towards the highs of the day. Now let's look at the intraday itself. Now you can see here the weekly is holding up by the hair of its chinny chin chin. And we will be paying attention to also the Dow. The Dow is trying to turn back up also. Let me just give that a refresh. Yep, minus 74. All right, and then let's go back to the S&P 500 right there. And let's look at it in an intraday basis on our, it's something like, we're looking at it, it was a 6 times Tesla or something like that. You see there it's trading at 24. Went into the sell there, went into the, let's move the buy over. Went into the buy right there. And we had a nice little pop. And then it went into the sell right there. So let's move the sell over. Oop, let's grab that again. Went into the sell right here. It seems to be weak. It's not a lot of strength in that sell at the moment. We have, I guess we have, you know, a couple hours to go. So, you can see the intraday action there. You know, it's holding up. The highs today, where's the highs today? The high was 39.33. That's the highs. So there's the action at the moment, and that must be the indice itself. And when we look at the, it's hard to believe there's a premium in there. I don't know. I would think that would open a doorway for you to sell the future and buy the stocks and take in that 24 handle, you know. So you can see here just that weakness going on at the moment. What else is going on? Let's see. Where is let's see what the Tech 100 is doing, and then we'll get out of here. Tech 100 is up today. Up pretty strong, actually. Let's see, where are you at? That's an interest rate situation right there. Try that again. There is the Tech 100. Showing some strength there. And let's go look at it over here. There we are. It's trying to turn up also. But it's in the daily sell too for a second day. The weekly is trying to get going. You can see that the fast moving algorithm has jumped over into the weekly buy already. And they sold it down pretty hard this week from it. That's not been a pretty show. At least we got into the sell there, so actually the sell was right there. I'm not sure if this is going to be a very good move out of it all. I mean, the slow is telling us not to be long yet. The fast is trying to tell us that, you know, this daily buy was a good idea. It was a good idea. Let's put it in there right there. We'll see what this brings, but one thing's for sure, they're not even challenging that plateau like the other two products are, or at least I mean that looks like a big bottom trying to form, you know. That's what that really is, like a big bottom. Let's see if we can widen this, unwiden it a little bit so it makes more sense there, like that. Yeah, so I mean that is interesting in its own right, is that it seems to build another base, and that base looks like it's trying to be higher than that low and this low. So, all right, traders, we're out of here. Everybody have a safe and smart weekend. We will catch you all on Monday. No major holidays, just a good old Monday. So, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you To all our trading friends, later, traders. Have a safe and smart weekend.